Hey, today I want to talk about the user experience journey for onboarding to cryptocurrency exchanges. So I looked at 4 major exchanges in the US and I documented the process step by step of going from fiat money into cryptocurrency. Now, in previous videos, I analyzed these user journeys in detail with special attention placed on how long each step takes and then any pain points along the way. But in this video, I want to zoom out and I want to talk more generally about what I learned when somebody uses a crypto on-ramp for the first time and why Coinbase is the gold standard by far in this space. My goal overall is to improve the user experience of crypto on-ramps by pointing out usability issues and recommendations for streamlining the process in general. I believe in improving the user experience. We will get more people to onboard to crypto and adopt it, and it will take us closer to mainstream usage. Again, I looked at 4 different major cryptocurrency exchanges in the US: Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, and Crypto.com. The first 3, Coinbase, Kraken, and Gemini, were web apps. So I went onto my desktop computer and then used an internet browser to access their websites, and everything could be done on there. Crypto.com is slightly different and a good use case for this study because I actually got to see what an iOS looks like from beginning to end. So it was really cool to get this mobile experience with Crypto.com, and it's a good comparison point for us. The reason you don't see Gemini is because I started this process with them, and it's been over 2 weeks, and my account still has not been verified with Gemini, so I could not continue and finish the process. This is, like, it doesn't even need to be stated, is a very serious usability problem. If somebody heard about Gemini, their friend told them about it, they go to it, and their account still hasn't been verified after several weeks, that is a major problem, and they could just never buy crypto again because they had such a poor experience with their first crypto exchange. Now, zooming out here, there are 4 phases from going from fiat into cryptocurrency. The first is sign up, second, verify, third, fund, and fourth, buy. So now I'm going to go into each one and I'm going to talk about the specific pain points, yes, but most importantly, I'm going to compare the crypto exchanges and show you how the user experience differs between each of them. Starting with sign up, it's really not too fancy. It's exactly what you would think. This is basic Web2 account creation. So for Coinbase, you go to up to the top right where it says sign up. You put in your first and last name, your email, password, put in the state, terms and conditions. It's all the same for the other 2 exchanges here. It's nothing new to users. It's all going to be very familiar, and especially if they've created Web2 accounts like Facebook or Instagram, where you're creating a password, you're creating a username, and this is the credentials that you're going to use to access your account. So as I said before, the sign-up phase is going to be very familiar to users. It's a very common Web2 standard. This verify phase is going to be slightly different. Here, the US government imposes KYC regulations on these crypto exchanges because they're essentially banks. They're holding people's fiat money. And in order to do so, again, the US imposes something called KYC, Know Your Customer, which requires users to put in very sensitive information such as date of birth, residential address, social security number, and you also have to capture the front and back of a state issued ID, such as a driver's license. So this is me here using a webcam, and I'm holding up my driver's license to capture the front and then back of it. And I just want to highlight here that it is, again, this information is sensitive and private, and people might not be willing to give it away, especially if they have a negative perception about crypto. They're still skeptical about cryptocurrency in general, and now these applications and services are asking for highly sensitive information, especially on a mobile app down here, where we think of mobile apps as very casual, almost like entertainment-like. But these apps are now asking for private information, so it's just something that users might be worried about. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Kraken. They have different levels of KYC. So if you see here, there's different tiers. The first is Express, second intermediate, third pro. And these are different degrees of KYC. So express is just asking for like residential address and social security number. And if you go to intermediate, then you have to add on your driver's license to it. But it just shows that Kraken thought of more light, more casual amateur users, people who might be not comfortable giving away that information right off the bat, or who just want to get started immediately. And this Express tier, it has a 9K deposit limit per day. So, I mean, that's like a pretty good amount of money that somebody can get onboarded within a minute, they're saying. And I just like that Kraken segmented them out like that. It shows that they're considering multiple user segments. I liked how on Coinbase, there are 3 different methods for uploading your document or your driver's license. You've got webcam, mobile camera, and file upload. But I do have to say that Crypto.com, because it was a mobile app, had the best user experience for capturing these documents because it activated my smartphone camera natively. And it was just a really quick process of capturing the front and then the back of the driver's license, and then also a facial ID here, right? I just use the selfie cam. It's very simple. The last thing I want to say about this verify phase is that once everything has been completed, you get this pending notification, like we're verifying your ID. So this is for Coinbase, and then this is for Kraken here. And as you'll notice, there are no messages on here that tell you an estimated time. So the user doesn't know if it's going to be minutes, are they going to receive that email, hours or days or potentially weeks? You know, like I said with Gemini, it's been weeks. It was 1 minute verification for Coinbase and 10-minute verification for Crypto.com and Kraken, which isn't long, but once you get to 10 minutes, it starts to interrupt the process. At that point, you know, after 5 or so minutes, I probably walked away from my computer and wasn't expecting it to come in the near future. I wasn't waiting for it to come, and so I wasn't going to continue this process. Okay, let's go to the third phase, which is fund. This is where you are connecting a bank account to the crypto exchange. You're depositing fiat cash into that exchange. So this is really where Coinbase starts to take the lead here. The UX between Coinbase and the others is just astounding. And this is, I would say, one of the most important processes in this overall user journey. So I want to zoom out here and I want to show you the time it takes for funding. So for Coinbase, it takes 1 minute to submit the information and it's instant bank account linkage. For Kraken and Crypto.com, they have different payment or funding methods, and it takes 1 full business day for Kraken and 2 full business days for Crypto.com. So just think about the difference. Coinbase is 1 minute, Kraken is 1 full business day, Crypto.com is 2 full business days. That is enormous in terms of the user experience just right there. Now let me show you the process for Coinbase, because Coinbase does something special. When you go into add payment method and you click bank account up here, it brings you to something called Plaid. Now, Plaid is an external service that Coinbase has partnered with, and they are Plaid essentially allows you to connect your bank account to Coinbase. So it's very simple. I just go in here, I search for Fidelity. This is what my bank account is. I put my Fidelity login credentials in. I do text message verification. And I pick the account within my Fidelity account, which I want to link. So as you noticed, this is all on one screen, right? I haven't left the Coinbase.com web app, and I'm just getting Plaid pop-ups right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 Plaid pop-ups. This takes less than a minute to set up, and it is by far the best funding user experience out there. Now, when we compare to something like Kraken and Crypto.com, first of all, what happens is Kraken only has 1 deposit method, and it's bank wire. So that you see that Synapse bank wire. So what happens is with this bank wire, it gives you the bank wire details, routing number and account number on there. So then what I need to do is go to my Fidelity account, and then I need to go to money transfer. Then I need to link a new bank account to my Fidelity account, because I've never transferred money from Fidelity to Kraken at this point. Text message verification. again, I'm linking these accounts. So now I have to go back to the Kraken webpage, paste the routing number in, go back again, copy the account number and paste the account number into this field here. So it's a lot of switching between different browser screens and it gets confusing. And now at this point, we're only at having linked the bank account for transfer. Now we need to actually initiate the transfer. And this takes, so then, yeah, you initiate the transfer and it takes 9 hours from the time that I click submit for it to land in the Kraken account. It's the same thing with Coinbase, except it's actually, it's the same thing with crypto.com, except it's more time consuming and complicated on crypto.com. So Kraken, again, Coinbase takes 1 minute to link, Kraken 1 business day, crypto.com 2 business days. This is incredible, the difference here. So the last thing I want to say about Fund are, again, I want to talk about some specific issues with Kraken and crypto.com. These both require bank wires or ACH bank transfers, and you have to manually set them up. So as I showed you before, you have to link a new bank account to your personal bank account. And to do that, you have to manually copy and paste the account and routing numbers into the Fidelity account. So it's a lot of switching between different things. Now, I want to tell you about a specific story with crypto.com. When I went to connect the ACH transfer to my Fidelity account, I had crypto.com send me details on the account and routing number for connecting these accounts. Look at this right here. You must include the unique code for us to identify your deposit or else funds might be lost. So here's the unique code here, and they're saying that I could lose my entire money transfer if I don't do this correctly. That is extremely scary for users who are uncertain and haven't done that process before and who are perhaps less technically capable than like digital natives, you know? So that is a scary thing, and you shouldn't have this uncertainty just by trying to deposit fiat into a crypto exchange. Now, here's the worst part. When I went to link this bank account in my Fidelity, there was no field for unique code. So not only was this message scary, but I couldn't even fulfill what this message was telling me to do. So when I went to transfer, I legitimately thought that my funds were going to be lost. Okay. It turned out that that the deposit was made, but it just goes to show that crypto.com needs to do some research into what fields exactly are needed when connecting bank accounts. I have another similar scary story with Kraken. When I submitted the bank transfer in this second to last step here, for Kraken, I submitted this, and an hour later, I got an email from Fidelity saying that the transfer had been successful. So in my mind, I thought, okay, if the transfer is successful, then this $1,000, which I sent to Kraken, should be in my Kraken account. I went to Kraken, and the balance was still $0. So this was initially a frightening experience, right? Did Fidelity take $1,000 out of my account and then move it into Kraken? And if so, where is that $1,000 and who is the custodian of that money now? It turns out that I probably misread the email, that it was saying that it had been successfully submitted, but it hadn't landed in Kraken. And so it was another 9 hours that I got an email saying that it had successfully landed in Kraken and that my account balance had been updated, less a transfer fee. Okay, so the last phase here is buy, and this is where the user can go from, obviously their fiat deposits to purchase cryptocurrency with it. Now, the user flows are all seamless and easy in this last step, but I just want to highlight how much better it is for Coinbase, because with Coinbase, to link a bank account, it takes 1 minute, and then I could go up to buy crypto immediately and purchase Ethereum from here. Whereas in Kraken and crypto.com, I had to wait for the bank wires to go through for them to settle into my account before I could then purchase cryptocurrency. So just zooming out here, let's just take a look at the amount of time that it takes to go from fiat currency into crypto ownership on each of these exchanges. On Coinbase, to sign up, it took less than a minute, and this is the same for all of them, right? It was, again, this Web 2 account creation is very standard and very quick, and this is what I would expect. For ID verification, it took 4 minutes for me to submit it on Coinbase, and then after that, it took 1 minute for a verification email. On KrakenandCrypto.com, it took about 3 minutes to submit, but 10-minute verification emails. That's still not bad. Everything here is under 15 minutes for identity verification, and I can live with that. But again, this fund phase is really where Coinbase starts to take off compared to the others. For Coinbase, it took 1 minute for me to link my bank account using Plaid, and my funds were instantly available. Like, the accounts were linked, and I could go and buy crypto immediately with that. On Kraken, it's a very different story. It took 10 minutes to submit the details, and that's if you know what you're doing. When you go to Fidelity and if you know exactly how to transfer or wire money, then it will be 10 minutes. If you need to call customer service or you're unsure, then this is possibly where users drop off. They say it's just too hard for me to get money into these accounts, and that is definitely a possibility here. So even if all that goes perfectly well and you know how to connect these accounts, you still have to wait 9 hours or up to several business days for this money to land into Kraken. And it's even worse with Crypto.com. Buy is all instant for everybody, but remember that Kraken and Crypto.com, you have to wait for these funds to land and settle before you can buy. So the total time going from fiat to crypto ownership for Coinbase is 10 minutes. For Kraken is 1 full business day, and for Crypto.com is 2 full business days. So in conclusion, Coinbase.com by far has the best user experience that I looked at in terms of cryptocurrency exchanges. They had the fastest account sign up and verification. They had the fastest bank account linkage using something called Plaid. And just overall, they're the fastest going from account sign up all the way through to to crypto ownership. And this was done in less than 10 minutes for me. The other exchanges for Kraken, it took 1 full business day and 2 full business days for Crypto.com. And that is an enormous difference. Also, just the actual user interface of Coinbase was better than these other 2 platforms. On Coinbase, when I was linking my bank account, I could use this external service called Plaid to link that bank account to Coinbase. And it was just these pop-up windows. It was the same Coinbase window, but I kept getting pop-ups in order to link that account. On Crypto.com and Kraken, I had to manually link a bank to my Fidelity account, and then I had to manually submit a wire transfer from Fidelity. And you're just having to go between all these different tabs in your browsers, opening emails, staying on Kraken.com, going to Fidelity.com. It's just a mess compared to the user experience that Coinbase provides with Plaid.